our microeconomics presentation. It is entitled Long Awaited Price War, a sign of rapid transformation in electric vehicle sector. It is authored by Pittis in 2023. So our members are Aranza, Giri, Suneth, me, Carmela, and Puma.
Hi everyone, this is Giridhar. I'm going to talk about the production and cost effects which has taking place after the announcement from Tesla on the price reduction. We will discuss on the present condition of the electric vehicle market from both production and cost perspective. We will understand how the decision on of Tesla on price cut on product and the impacts on market when the shift happens to the production and cost variable. If you see the slide which displays the quantity and price variables, and we have a demand, the initial demand D1, and with the announcement of the price cuts, the demand has shifted from D1 to D2. So, and also with respect to the production, since Tesla has been increasing the production as well, there is a shift in the supply as well in the market. So the initial equilibrium for the initial price and demand was EQ1, which has now shifted to a new value of EQ2, which is eventually showing us the reduction in the price as well as the demand quantity has increased. When we go to the next slide, we will be seeing how Tesla is able to display this price reduction and what is this impact from the point of technology. Tesla has really invested a lot in its technology, and this technology has boosted Tesla to increase the production from two different values, from economical value. So they are able to produce cheaper outputs with the help of technology, and they're also able to make more efficient outputs with the help of technology. So this the graph shows after the introduction of technology, the long-term cost has reduced, and this has made the very close to the MES. So let's move on to the next slide, wherein we'll be talking about how uh, Tesla is able to compete long run. Initially, Tesla has invested more on his fixed costs for R&D and research. So, so after this, once when the Tesla is producing more outputs in manufacturing volume, the production value is going less on longer run. So this results in cheaper cost per unit, and the long run average total cost is going down on a longer time. So with this fixed cost, producing the first unit of the output is equal to the marginal cost after some time. So automatically the price for producing the units goes down. So this is a great advantage for Tesla. So from here on, will be taken care by Carmela on the next structure of the market.
Thank you, Giri, for the transition of the segment. So I am Carmela Ramirez. So what is the market structure of electric vehicles? In the next slide, it is shown that it is an oligopoly. So the electric vehicle industry is it has a market structure of oligopoly. So oligopoly is mainly a market structure based on game of strategy. So companies maximize their profit depending on the move or decisions of rival manufacturers. So what is Tesla's dominant strategy here? So Tesla has a dominant strategy of decreasing prices as seen in the next slide. So the dominant strategy is to decrease price, and Tesla continues to use this tactic from even from before in the previous years. So having a dominant strategy, it always Tesla tends to choose to always compete with other companies instead of collude or organize a strategy amongst them. So since Tesla is decreased its prices in its Model Y vehicle, what are the interpretations of this bold move? Business analysts interpret it as Tesla is either starting a price war or it's preparing to lose. So to discuss further why it's starting a war, because if a company decreases a price in oligopoly, it's a sign of competitiveness. So it basically adds pressure to other companies to follow the price of the vehicle. And knowing that demand and individuals who want to purchase cars would most likely go for the one that is affordable. It's also attempting to increase its revenue in the risk of forfeiting profit just to maintain its number one position as the electric vehicle producer. On the other hand, why is it preparing to lose? So business analysts interpret it as Tesla is attempting to collect as much profit before competition takes over. So as we all know, Tesla removed its patent in its electric vehicle research. So since this past patent is removed, everyone else can easily enter the market as long as they have the capital for it, and even long existing companies can easily manufacture and develop their own batteries or their own vehicles basing from this open patent. So um, business analysts also interpret it as Tesla cannot maintain its lead in the EV industry, especially when more established companies like Volkswagen, Mitsubishi, and Geely will take the lead in 2025. So it's just basically trying to create as much profit before it loses the game. So that would be all for market structure. The next topic, which is demand and supply in relation to price, which will be discussed by Aranza. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmela. So in this case, we are going to talk about demand and supply in relation to price and how what's the reaction to the price of the customers. Okay, so in this case, we can see what happens with the demand curve. Specifically, a sector of customers finds the price of Tesla attractive since it is going to decrease. So the consequence here in economics is that the quantity demanded is going to increase too. So it is really important to specify that the demand is not increasing, but the quantity demanded. So if we consider that all the other factors are going to keep stay the same in the demand curve, we are going to talk about a movement through the demand curve, not a shift. This is really important to say. We are going to show furthermore a graph that represents this movement, but now we are going to talk about what happens in with the supply curve. This happens simultaneously. So in the case of the supply curve, since Tesla price is going to be attractive and competitive, this is going to be positive from the demand curve, but also it's going to affect the supply curve since the suppliers find an increase with regard to the price of raw materials as provided in the article that we are analyzing. So some of the complementary goods are going to be more expensive or they are going to show an increase in the cost for some suppliers, and this is going to be a treat to the competitors, for example, as Toyota, Ford, or Volkswagen. So maybe this can affect the supply curve of other suppliers. And in this case, we can see a shift in the supply curve. We are going to show following graph that it's going to show a shift in the supply curve. Now, in this sense, we also have elasticity. And this is also important to notice, as in the case of luxury cars as Tesla, specialty vehicles, the demand tends to be more price inelastic. What does it mean? A price change would have a minor percentage change in the quantity demanded. This means that people is willing to buy luxury cars, and these people is often less responsive to price changes and more focus on the way that the features and the new features that the car can present. So here we can see in the figure 4 a representation of the possible changes. Okay, so on this side we have the price, and these are all fictional data, and on this side we have the quantity demanded. So as we can say, the quantity demanded changed, which means that we have a movement in the demand curve, and of course we have a new equilibrium price, and we are going to analyze the supply shift. So it was we have first the supply here, and we have first the equilibrium price, and then it went to the left, shift to the left because of the competitive price of Tesla. That's why we were talking about the war price and what will happen with the competitors. So basically, this is what in general would happen or happens in the supply and demand curves regarding Tesla competitive price. Now we are going to the next section with Uma.
Thank you, Aranza, for giving me the chance. And I would like to discuss about the types of related goods that are affected by the price decreasing of Tesla and vice versa. So our next slide will show that the Tesla is a luxury good, and demand for a luxury good is not only depends on the price increase or decrease of the good, it also depends on the other related goods and the average income of a person, and the population of the country, and also the demographics. So as you can see, the average income of Canadian people of age 16 and above is likely 54,000 Canadian dollar per year. So as the Tesla's price is decreasing, so average income people can also buy it with the help of the car loans also, because people are more tend to buy luxury goods for leading the more comfortable life. So in the next slide, we will try to show a comparison between a gasoline consumption vehicle, that is sedan, and electricity consumption vehicle, that is Tesla. As we all know that electricity vehicles is nowadays is taking place more than the before, and it is more cost friendly, and because we can see here that a sedan, that is gasoline consumption vehicle, it takes $2.85 per gallon, whereas Tesla only takes 0.13 kilowatt per hour. So electric vehicles are also cost friendly, so people are more tend to buy these nowadays. And for our next slide, we can see that the price decreasing in Tesla also is affecting the battery production and house demand. So for battery production, as Tesla is trying to decrease its price and slashing down, it also affected the battery production also, because battery production costing is also trying to keep it low. That's why it is facing some losses. So government is trying to give some subsidies in this sector, and some experts also are saying that if this continues, a recession can happen in Canada. And for house demand, we can say that with the demand for cars, and the house demand is also increasing. People because people want to store their cars in a safe place, and nowadays some housing companies are offering some like packages, like they are giving charging system with their housing. So it is also helping people for charging their cars, and it is also helping to increase the demand of houses also. As we can say that although Tesla car pricing is likely to start a price war, but it can also helpful for the environment, because electric vehicles are more eco-friendly. So it is kind of giving a positive externalities here. So if people are likely to use more electric vehicles, it will keep the environment safe, I think. So that's all for my topics. So now I would like to welcome Sunil for discuss his topic, that is government intervention. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So my topic is government intervention. As you have heard, now we are talking about the Tesla's new invention of electric car. So first of all, we must focus on the economic concept of equity. So equity recognize the economic shock as global warming. As you all you know, uh, uh, after 1992, there was a Rio de Janeiro meeting. We got that there is something called global warming, and in 1997 we signed Kyoto Protocol. The government agrees to reduce greenhouse gases, and Tesla's invention come at a time where the world faces in a terrible situation of global warming. So first of all, we must focus on government intervene. The government they impose taxes and give incentives. So if we switch on to taxes, normally the government impose a tax to reduce consumer surplus as well as producer surplus. At that time, there's something called tax wedge occurs. So when the tax, this type of taxes have been introduced because of the global warming, and the government of Canada has introduced taxes in 2008, that is carbon tax of British Columbia province, and as well as Producing Pricing Act in 2018. Now, recently, critics said the carbon tax will be increased by 350% in 2030. So the other thing we have to focus on giving incentives. Now, normally the most popular way of charging electric cars in Canada is home charging. Now, there's a bank in Canada. They have come to give some financial assistance to install public chargers. So this will morale boost to electric car industry, because now after 5 years time, since 2018, the electric car usage have been increased. So Elon Musk's car, that means the Tesla's car, have come in a positive sense, because now he has some market share to grab in, because this is a clear answer for global warming. So I think the government intervention is somewhat a good thing to fight against global warming. Thank you very much.
Okay, so here we can recover 5 main points overall. Thank you so much for your attention.